What are some great ways for an INFJ to relax? Stick around for today's show to find out. Here are 11 ideas to get you started. They're in no particular order, and they're ones that I've personally enjoyed or seen other INFJs enjoying as well. You may take them or leave them, so I'd love to hear your thoughts and to hear your own ideas because I think there's a lot for us to learn from each other. So let the conversation begin. One of my favorite things to do is to listen to music, but not just any particular type of music. Yes, I have favorites, and I tend to like lyrical music with a folksy feel or some kind of ambient music, sometimes upbeat. It depends on the mood, really. But I love music because it expresses what I'm wrestling with or just helps me to relax. Oftentimes, I'll have to get some kind of chore or monotonous to-do done. And when I can play music in the background, it helps me turn it out or at least endure the time and make the most of it. For example, when I'm grading, I'm almost always playing some kind of Pandora radio station in the background or cycling through YouTube videos. One of my favorite things to do is to explore related music videos or related genres and just find new music because I find the introduction of something similar but new and creative very exciting. And I think that's playing on the creativity and the INFJ personality, the introverted intuition, as well as the extroverted sensing, that desire to find novel sensory experiences, which music would do really well. So I love that. Tonight I was paying the bills. Music helped me get it done. And I know that a lot of other INFJs really enjoy music to express their feelings and also to get work done. Related to number one is playing an instrument. I know that a lot of INFJs really enjoy the creativity that comes with learning and mastering and playing an instrument. And when I play the guitar, it really helps me to relax. I just love the feel of it, and I love learning songs that are super enjoyable to me. So a lot of times I'll kill a night just by pulling out my guitar and noodling around for half an hour or a little bit longer because it's a great way to relax. A third way of relaxing that I really enjoy is just going for a walk. It doesn't have to be anything amazing. It could just be walking around the neighborhood, but I love being outside by myself where I have the freedom to just process through thoughts, to think, sometimes to pray, and just to take in the surroundings. Sometimes I people watch, but more often than not, I'm enjoying the natural beauty around me. Or if I'm in a city, the new sights and sounds, wherever I am, I just like going for a walk and processing. Now, sometimes I do like walking with a friend, someone I really trust and can enjoy the sights and sounds with, or with my wife or someone like that. But it's just nice to be alone with my thoughts, and that creative think time, that freedom, that escape time is so refreshing. Another thing that can be really enjoyable when you've been stressed for a while is just talking to someone who thinks deeply and processes the same kinds of information, or at least enjoys the same kind of information you do. More often than not, this is another intuitive introvert. And I do like connecting with other INFJs, but I also really like the different flavors of intuition that INFPs and INTPs and INTJs bring to the table too, because I think we're all in the same boat to some extent. We have this pent-up creativity and different way of seeing the world, and it's nice to get those different perspectives. I think I particularly am drawn to the thinkers because I ask a lot of those deep questions, and they've asked those questions and have approached it from another angle that maybe I haven't thought of. So I really enjoy conversations with them. That said, I really appreciate all the friendships I have because each and every person has a different perspective. So talking just with someone whom I trust, whom I've built a relationship with, or I've connected with quickly even, is really enjoyable in the right setting and at the right time. Okay, this one goes without saying, but I've got to say it anyway. Number 5 is to create. I think it's at the core of who we are as INFJs, since we are people who have the number one mindset or way of being that's led by introverted intuition, but we just really like making stuff, particularly things that are original or that provide a new perspective on the world. So I love making songs or creating a song, or I really enjoy making videos like this, or recording podcasts or writing posts. And sometimes it's not even related to something I've got to produce for work or something I want to make for a channel like this, but it might just be something original or an idea that I have that I want to chase. Creating something is often refreshing, and it's even better sometimes when there's no pressure to share it with anybody else. Although in the end, usually I want to share it with someone else and want it to help others. A lot of times when I've done a lot of detail work and I'm really tired of it and I've spent all my energy, one of the most reinvigorating things for me to do, and that actually I've seen a lot of other INFJs doing and enjoying, is just rearranging the environment, the space where I work or the space where I live, or the space where they work or the space where they live. It can be so much fun to take what you have and rearrange it in a way that helps you conserve energy, be more efficient, and that reinforces you negatively. And what I mean by that, if you've heard of negative reinforcement, a lot of people think that it's like punishment, but really negative reinforcement just means taking something bad away. So if you can come up with some kind of original system or workflow that takes away monotonous details and routines that you have to do over and over again, if you can automate something, that can be really fun too. So I love coming up with systems and processes in the physical world, just setting up environments that are better to a certain extent, or even just on a computer or a piece of technology that helps me take away some kind of evil detail that I have to deal with. Not that details are evil, but I'm not a big fan of them. So it's nice to come up with an environment or a system that helps me be more efficient and, again, just operate in a more natural way. This one goes hand in hand with the creating, but we as INFJs love to learn too. So sometimes, or a lot of times, we spend our free time learning. And don't get me wrong, it doesn't have to be academic learning, like in an academic setting, but it's just pursuing the big questions that we have, pursuing our curiosity. So you can do it on YouTube. You can do it with a podcast. You can do it with conversations with people that you trust, or meeting new people through books. It could be watching a TV show. However you want to do it. Learning takes all kinds of forms, but just finding out the answers to why the world works the way it does and pursuing those interests and new theories or explanations for how the world operates and why people do what they do is really interesting and refreshing. And it's a natural way for us to think as INFJs. If I'm stuck somewhere and I've got nothing else to do, or even if I have to choose something to do, I often like to people watch. I'm doing this no matter where I am. I just can't help it. I'm always watching people and looking for patterns and asking, hey, why do they do that? And what's making them tick? But it can be fun to sit at a mall or a soccer game or someplace that I've got to be, at church, wherever, and just watch other people and see what they're doing and why they're doing it. And then to connect people and try to figure out who is like who and what's making them work the way they do. I think we as INFJs are really interested in psychology generally and sociology, how people relate to others. We pick up on those sort of theories quickly. So it can be fun just to figure out what makes people tick. And we tend to do it naturally, especially when it involves the people we relate to each and every day, and helps us better relate to them, help them, or just work through interpersonal problems, promote harmony. A whole slew of things come as benefits of observing others, and not the least of it is the fact that it's just enjoyable to watch other people. Number 9, wonderful number 9. I wish I would have learned this one so much earlier. I had a decent handle on it in college, but I've kind of let it slip away in recent years and rediscovering how wonderful it is. And it is sleeping. I think we need sleep as INFJs. I mean, everybody needs sleep. And I could probably say about a lot of these things I've mentioned that all people enjoy them. But I've always wondered if we as INFJs need more sleep. The ones I've observed typically do need a little bit more sleep than other personality types. And maybe that's the fact that we're introverts and we're drained by loud surroundings and by too much interaction with others, too many details. And also that a lot of us tend to be highly sensitive, that we're picking up on extra stimuli that drain us more quickly. So we need more time to power down and relax. So for many years, I've just enjoyed, reading for a little bit at night, or just kind of going on YouTube and researching or listening to a podcast or whatever, having a conversation with someone I really trust. But sleeping is such a big way to relax and recharge. And when I was in high school, I had a good ESTJ friend. He's still my friend, but I didn't realize, this is before personality type, that he was wired differently and he was energized by a lot of the things that drained me. So he'd be doing like 5 or 6 hours of sleep each night. And I wondered if I was lazy or if there was something wrong with me when I was doing like 7.5. Come to find out, we're just different. And I probably do need more sleep than others. And I think a lot of us do. I've got an INFJ friend who sleeps like 9 hours a night. And I know others that sleep more. And ideally, I'd like to sleep at least 8 or 9. So sleep is such a big deal. And I'm trying to make it more of a priority. And I've felt so much better. I've been so much happier and have enjoyed life quite a bit more. So I have to say sleep is a big one when it comes to relaxing. Even a nap on the weekend is great, and it's not a waste of time. I think it makes us more efficient, more creative, more effective in our relationships, and more alive. I love to enjoy a great story, and I think a lot of us as INFJs do. I've always been captured by the Chronicles of Narnia by C.S. Lewis, and I love the Lord of the Rings. They're such awesome movies, and I still need to hit all those books. It's pretty terrible that I haven't read them all. I started it and never finished it. That's definitely on my to-do list, but I just love an imaginative story that captures the mind. It's so much fun to see people transform and change or overcome a difficult circumstance, or just to see a community or group of people healed and changed. I think that sort of thing is really energizing for us as INFJs. I know it is for me personally. And number 11 is exercise. I kind of already mentioned it when I said walking, because that's definitely a form of exercising, but I've always really enjoyed lifting weights. Okay, I can't say always, because I haven't always lifted weights, but ever since I started in high school and more so in college, I really enjoyed just pushing myself in an area that maybe wasn't ever my forte. I do enjoy extroverted sensing. I think we all enjoy extroverted sensing, manipulating the physical world and using our bodies to some extent, because it's stretching a part of us that wouldn't be so developed otherwise. I spent a lot of time playing basketball when I was younger, and I played a little bit in college, not anywhere big, just D3, but it was just fun. I enjoyed being out on the court, and to a certain extent, it was relaxing. Now, I couldn't do it too much. It was just too much of a demand to be competitive all the time, but I really enjoyed getting out there and running around, especially when I could connect with other people. And I think that's exercising that extroverted feeling and extroverted sensing in conjunction. So I think that's where it becomes really fun, when you can combine those two aspects of your extroverted personality. It can be a great loop, as long as you do it in the right amount, because we can tend to spend a lot of time inside and then need that connection with others. So when you can exercise and do it and be growing and changing and doing it with somebody else, I think it's a great win-win. But just exercising has so many benefits for all people, but I think for us as INFJs, gets the blood moving and builds up the endorphins. It can help you, pop out of that periodic low and depression, which is so prevalent since we're more temperamental, or not. Temperamental is probably not the right word, but since we're more mercurial, and since we tend to have highs and lows, we're not as steady as some of the sensing types. Having the high of exercise and the physical boost can really help you maintain a positive mindset. And I've really appreciated it. It's always helped me to relax. If you'd like to learn more about your INFJ personality, then I'd love to give you a free copy of my book, The INFJ Personality Guide. It'll help you better understand the mindsets and motivations that cause you to do what you do as an INFJ. And it'll also help you understand some common INFJ challenges and find solutions to those challenges. I wrote the book to help you understand that you're not messed up or broken, but just different. You can get a copy of the book. Again, it's just free, absolutely free. One of two ways. One way is to text the letters INFJ to the number 444999. Or you can visit ispeakpeople.com/INFJ-personality-guide to grab a copy. And I'll put that link in the description below this video. Well, thanks so much for watching the show. I hope that you found it interesting and hopefully helpful too. If you have watched a couple videos, or this is your first one and you like the content, then I'd encourage you to subscribe. There are new videos each and every week helping you better understand yourself as an INFJ and get insight into the INFJ personality. And if you're a regular subscriber, just want to say thanks. Thanks for being awesome and for being a part of this community. I wouldn't be doing it without people like you. So I look forward to seeing you on the next show.